language is a living thing and changes according to the human being's behavior, society's background. Ideas, to communicate, to have a communication, to have a discussion, right? This is a common thing, as well as to exchange facts and opinions, to communicate, right? This is a common thing you would hear. People would actually agree to this. This is why we use language. This is something, this is the purpose, this is the role of language. But is this the only role of language? Is this really the only thing that language does and the only thing that language is interested in doing? Well, not really. Because if we look further, and I'm just hoping, okay, I have to apologize for a sec, but it didn't work straight away. Anyway, if you look at this slide here, there's a variety of ways why we use language and how we use language. And we're talking about language in general. We're not talking about specific language. We're talking about language in general. So first of all, to express emotions, uttering, okay, just to express what you feel. So issues, for example, such as, oh gosh, oh my God, these are emotions, this is something that interjections, that feelings that you want to express. And this is why language is extremely important in that way. Second, social interaction. We, of course, are social beings. We as human beings are social beings. We interact with each other. We interact with others. And that's where communication comes in. Of course, we use language to communicate. Of course, we use language to have social interaction. Of course, as human beings, we do discuss things. We do talk about a subject. Using sounds. Now, imagine when we were little children, we were playing outside and we were just throwing the ball against the wall. That time, before, we're talking about now, before internet and all this stuff, right? I think most of you can relate to this, inshallah. Now, that time when we were outside playing football, playing with a ball, hitting the ball against the wall, you would sometimes, as a kid, you would say, boom, puff, boom, hey, come, you would just react on the sounds that you hear or see with your own sound, with your own voice, with your own language, basically. So just using sounds is a part of human beings, of humanity. So that's another role that language plays. Religious ceremonies and expressions. So in certain religious ceremonies, such as we as Muslims, mashallah, although many of us might not speak Arabic, but we all make takbir when we start. We all say Allahu Akbar, right? We all say the Fatiha. So there are certain specific rituals that we as Muslims, and not only as Muslims, anybody in the world who follows a certain practice of a certain religion, a certain background, will use the language for that specific purpose, okay? You can actually add to it a jargon. Now, anybody who's in a specific profession, anybody who does a specific job, a specific role in society, will also, in their profession and in their role that they play, they will also have a specific jargon in order to communicate with each other, in order to speak about something. And we also, as linguists, have also a specific jargon. For example, we will come across later in my slides, L1 and L2. Not everybody knows what we mean with that. L1 is the mother tongue language. So my L1 would be basically Greek. My L2 would be anything that I learned to it. So L3 and so on. So it means my main language is considered L1. It's called L1 in linguistic terms. So that's a jargon. That's terminology that we use as specific professions or specific backgrounds that we have. Recording facts, obviously, we need to use language to record facts, and we don't mean it can be simply a book of law, okay, where you put in facts, a dictionary, an encyclopedia. where you just mention facts. We need language for that, obviously. An instrument of thought. Now, what does that mean? Imagine sometimes, you know, you will have, might have come across it, that people say, oh, have I said it out loud? You know, you have a thought in mind, and this thought comes out on your tongue, basically, and you express this thought. You might come out with a specific sound. You might simply come out with a specific idea that kept you interested, that was in your mind, and you come out and say it. So that's an instrument of thought. Last but not least, expression of identity. Extremely important, because that plays a role in politics nowadays. We know that people nowadays, identity and politics and religion and language, they play an extremely important role. And without them, we would not be able to understand what's happening around us. So as important as politics might be, as important as religion might be in the world, that's how important actually is also language.